Hello Arlington, this is In Focus with your monthly show. In this month's episode, we will be looking into the girls basketball team, the recent paid field trip that took place, and the State Theater Convention. This is your In Focus, and I'm your host, Julian Max. For our first segment, we have information on the girls basketball team and how the year is so far.
What did you expect of this season?
Last year we had a pretty good year and we had most of our kids return. This year I expected for us to continue kind of on the track that we were last year. Expect to obviously win a lot of games and make it to the state tournament and win a state championship.
What do the practices consist of?
In practices, we do all kind of things. We do a lot of breakdown. We break down different things that we may see during the game. Or the games that we play, break down stuff defensively, break down offense. Some days the kids may say that practices suck because we do a lot of running and a lot of accountability. Whatever it takes to get better.
What do you enjoy most about basketball?
I like practices. As a coach, that's our time that we really get to get in the gym and work. Come game time. That's about the kids, and they get out there and get to do their thing. But in practice as a coach, that's where we really get to, enjoy and embrace that process, and just the competitive nature of it. The fast pace of the game, the competitive nature of the game.
What do you encourage your players to do during the games?
During the games, the biggest thing is we have an expectation for the kids to play as hard as they can. We want them to play under control, and we want them to be at a comfortable pace all night, but we expect them to play as hard as they can defensively. 50-50 balls, different things like that, hustle stuff. We keep track of hustle stats and different things like that, and so, we expect our kids to play as hard as they can, every time they're out on the floor.
What are you and the other coaches' morals for the basketball games?
I think it goes back to the hard work. If you're out there working hard and you're playing as hard as you can and giving your best effort, that usually leads to success. So we have a lot of high expectation there for that. Being good teammates, being positive, supporting your teammates, because you're not going to score every possession. So you got to support those who may score, but you also got to find other ways to make an impact on the game.
Lastly, what inspired you to coach basketball?
I like having an impact on kids. I love the game of basketball and always kind of saw it from a different perspective than a lot of my peers did when we played. And realizing that, I thought I may have some kind of gift in being able to explain the game and, maybe coach it, that's kind of why I got into this business. Just the impact that you get to have on kids' lives is, it's a big thing.
This season, I expect us to win a state championship. Last year, we got to state, but we didn't win any games. I think we lost by 21 to Bearden in the first round. So this year, I expect us to go up there, win at least 2 games to get into the state championship, so we could probably bring a trophy back to Arlington. I enjoy the competitiveness of basketball, going out to different places and meeting new people, the different styles of basketball. And I just love being on a team, being surrounded by those girls who have the same interests as us. I realized my passion for basketball. Well, I was playing since I was 4, but I realized my passion for basketball in the 5th grade when my sister was playing basketball at Ridgeway middle school. And she was in the 7th grade, yeah. And I was practicing with them, and they was encouraging me and telling me to keep going, and giving me compliments. So I was like, I can do this. I can take these compliments. Yes, I plan on playing in college. I want to go to a school that fits me best, that feels like a family, because if I'm far away from home, I want to still be able to count on these people. I have an offer from North Carolina A&T. I have interest from TSU, South Alabama, Little Rock, UT Martin, North Florida, and that's all I can think of right now. But I should be doing some visits soon so I could see this environment and see if this is the place I want to be for the next 4 years.
For the next segment, we're looking at the recent paid field trip and what took place.
What places did you attend on the paid field trip?
So we went to St. Jude, which was fabulous, and we got to see their video complex, and we also went to WKNO.
We attended WKNO and the St. Jude film plays.
What did each trip consist of?
The WKNO trip consisted of us seeing all their various resources, their broadcast stations. We got to see some old school, more vintage film types, including tape. Some that are basically obsolete, and there's only a few machines left that actually play them. The students got to kind of see the history of that. We got to see their radio station as well. We got to meet various people there who work in different capacities, including their closed captioning person, which is a full-time job, which is interesting for those people interested in working with folks with disabilities.
Basically, we went for WKNO. We took a tour to each area in WKNO, and that's the place that produces like PBS and PBS Kids and stuff like that. And we got to see like the background, like what's behind the scenes of all of that. And then for the St. Jude, we got to see, like for the commercials you see on TVs and stuff like that, we got to see the, like basically the rundown of how they do that and the green screens and the cameras they use and stuff like that.
What was your favorite part of the trip?
St. Jude, for sure. St. Jude. The fact that St. Jude had 22 full-time staff members creating, I can't even remember, multiple terabytes per quarter of footage. And they create footage for all different types of social media, as well as for commercials and for corporate events. The way that they tie in the hope with the pain and the beautiful footage that they get. They showed us some amazing footage in their various studios.
My favorite part was the St. Jude area when we got to go into this room and it had a huge green screen around it, and it seemed like the green screen had no end. And that was my favorite part because I like green screens.
Do you think that it impacted the students in their future film path?
I know at least one of my mentees says, yes, she wants to work for St. Jude. I know others who are now thinking about closed captioning as a job in film that they hadn't really thought about before. So it opens the doors for them to new careers that they hadn't considered in the past.
I do think that it impacted other students because the way that the St. Jude place showed us how they kind of record and stuff, different angles and the way people are positioning cameras and stuff like that gives you different feels and emotions. And I feel like many people after the trip were impacted by that and would start using it in their things and worrying about the lighting and stuff.
For the last segment, we will look at the recent state thespian convention that took place.
Hello, In Focus. My name is Holly Conrad, and for this segment, I am joined with Miss Wheeland, and we'll be talking about the recent thespian convention that took place. First of all, what is Thesz Con?
Well, Thespian Conference is just that. It is the Tennessee State Thespian Conference where students and teachers can go to participate in many and varied workshops, professional development for teachers, and just an all-around bonding time and networking event for everything theater.
What are the benefits that students gain from this convention?
First, I think it's so important for them to see that there are other students who have their same interests, and it just helps them see that they are not an island, they're not alone. But they also get to go to many different workshops. They can learn how to work with silks. They can do stage fighting. So many different ways that they can learn in different areas of theater that maybe they hadn't thought about previously.
Are there any scholarships that they can gain from this?
Yes, there are several different individual scholarships. We had 3 students apply. Unfortunately, we did not take home the gold, but we did have students that did make it to the second round and participated in callbacks, and so it was a really great learning experience for them.
And then, what is your favorite thing to do with the students?
Let's see, do we mean at the Thespian Conference?
Yes, at the Thespian Conference.
I really just love hearing about their experiences. I love that they go to so many different workshops and then they can bring that new knowledge and new skills back to me and to the other students. And so it's just a really wonderful opportunity for them to share out, and we can just broaden our skill base.
And then, let's see. They're moving into a phone. And then, let's see. In your opinion, does it help with the Little Shop of Horrors for this spring?
Oh, I think most definitely. I was able to network and have conversations with other theater teachers, and this being my first year in moving to the high school arena, that was very helpful to me, so I was able to get some valuable input from colleagues. But I also think that some of the students who are involved in Little Shop, they were able to benefit from the workshops that they took, for example, in staging a stage fight. So I think that kind of helps them as they prepare for more time on stage with Little Shop.
Do you think that inspired them to do better with the Little Shop of Horrors?
Most definitely. I also think that because they were able to attend main stage shows while we were there and see more high quality performances put on by other high schools, I think that just motivated them even more to give 110% for our production.
Lastly, what was your favorite thing to do with them that you've had them all year?
The favorite thing, I think, for me is just watching their growth as a performer. They start out with just some words on a page, and then I just love seeing how they develop that character and grow the performance throughout the rehearsal process and then during the performances, because even from the first performance to the last, I can still see growth, and that's what it's all about to me.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Hello, Arlington students. My name is Holly Conrad, and I'll be your host for this segment. In this segment, we are exploring the Thesz Con that recently took place. First of all, can you tell us what Thesz Con is?
Thespian Conference is a conference statewide across Tennessee. It's where all the thespian troupes across the state come together, and it is like a bunch of workshops, and you basically learn what a thespian does. You learn different workshops, and you learn vocal workshops, dance workshops, acting workshops. Even technical side, you can learn stage makeup and stage combat and different things like that. It's a way to train on a state level and meet a bunch of other people that do the same thing that you do.
What does Thesz Con consist of?
Well, basically, a bunch of workshops that can help you train to get better is a lot of what it is. There's also, I guess it also consists of meeting a bunch of people, and it also is, there's also scholarship opportunities and college audition opportunities. So for people to who want to major in musical theater, or major in theater, or major in acting, they can audition for schools there, and they can also apply for scholarship and audition for scholarships. So that's another cool thing that I also got to do while I was there, and I was able to perform for the scholarship, and like I was a top finalist, which was cool. And so it gives scholarship opportunities and audition opportunities.
Can the groups attend different things on their own?
Oh yeah, each thespian or delegate gets to attend whatever workshops they want to. There's like an app on your phone that you can see all the different workshops that you could go to, and like if you prefer if you prefer like technical things, then there's like a technical like list of workshops, and if you prefer like performance, there's performance like workshops. So anyone can go to anything they would like to on your own. It's on MTSU's campus, so like it's a free open campus, and you just kind of explore how you want to and where you want to go.
What's your favorite event to attend?
My favorite event was probably last year. I went to a dance class, and it was taught by an original Broadway cast member of Thoroughly Modern Millie, which was really cool. And that was probably the favorite workshop that I've been to, which was last year was my first year. So that was like cool to get to experience that. And she taught us like original choreography from the Broadway show, and it was awesome.
Yeah. So let's see. Okay, so for Thesz Con, what do you like to do? Like, where do you go usually?
Oh, I typically like to attend, I'm a performance person, I like to perform, so I typically attend a lot of the musical theater workshops. So this last year that I went, I attended the musical theater rep book building strategy, was taught by like a college professor from like one of the big universities for musical theater. And so I would typically like to attend performance things, so like that was a lot of like paperwork building strategy stuff, but like I usually like to attend like an acting workshop. I attended like a 90-second show your 90 thing where you like perform your pieces that you have prepared, and they will critique you, which was something that I like to attend.
Yeah. Lastly, do you think it'll help this upcoming show for the Little Shop of Horrors?
Yeah, I think it will. A lot of the cast was able to attend workshops to help with like dance and acting and singing and all that. So I think it did help train for that show.
Thank you.
Yes.
I hope you enjoyed this month's episode. This has been In Focus, and I'm your host, Julian Maxwell.